Alright, this should work, right? Or is it not showing anything? Is it showing anything? Um, hmm. Alright, let's see. I am currently testing. I'm probably gonna cut some parts out of this if I must, you know? Hmm. Which was mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, so I don't really care. Is it buffering? Hate to see this. If it is, I'm gonna have to restart this entire podcast. I could do that. Just to fix this. I don't know what that means, so. Alright, that's good enough, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna have to just a couple of people. Alright, I'm live. I'm live on YouTube again. So as of now, my friends, my co-hosts, rather, are still not here, so I'm gonna have a one-on-one talk with every viewer out there. So hey, it's me again, I'm Centigrade, and I haven't been posting for a while. That's that's not really a surprise, I know. I haven't been posting for a while because there's been a lot going on, and my friends would actually back me up on this part. They'd know what, they know what's, okay, there's a motorcycle that passed by. They know what's up anyways. I'm about to graduate from grade 12 and such, so I really had to stop with the stuff, with YouTube stuff. So yeah. So anyways, I'm waiting for a couple of peeps, and if they're here, I'm gonna have to start the podcast. Any minute now, they're gonna be here. I'm gonna discuss a couple of topics with them, and in the process, I'm also gonna make some topics, if I must. I'm not really good with one-on-one talks, so I'm just gonna wait for a while until they finally hop on. Yeah, me and my friends were all too busy doing stuff. We couldn't really fit any schedules, so yeah, this is what you get. Where are they? This is kind of strange, even for me, feeling that I'm the only one here. Yes. Yeah. Well. It's also 10 in the evening. I haven't slept properly. Yeah, I'll wait. Seems like I'm gonna be the only one here, right? Right now. I might have went too early. I should have waited until my friends are. Hey, you're finally here.
Then your boy,
Driven
welcome
or
to the podcast.
your mic is a little muffled. Is it me or is it you? I don't
Hello?
know. Yeah, it's kind of
Wait,
muffled. All right, there we go. We speak again.
hello? Is it
There,
working?
yeah, there you go.
Is it fine?
Yeah, that's
Alright,
fine enough.
we waited for the
So
others. Waiting for Reed and Sui.
not sure if Bread's gonna join. He said he'd pop in from time to time, but not sure what time exactly that is.
He'll come whenever he feels like it.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
So, what are we talking about today?
Oh, I
Been a
have.
while since we had these.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been busy for a couple of times. Did my stream just?
For 4 months.
All right, my stream's fine. It's been 4 months since we actually had this podcast. Had I had several topics that I want to talk about. Basically, they're just three, but I hope that we can stretch it up to 2 hours. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. I guess we can start the podcast from here on out. There you go.
Yeah.
There's Sui.
Alright.
All right, let's start the podcast. All right, we're back after 4 months of being inactive on YouTube. I think you.
4 years of being
First podcast for this year.
Yeah, this is the first podcast for this year. You can tell by the title of this stream.
Goddamn.
Anyone got New Year's resolutions, or y'all not believe in that type of stuff?
I refuse to believe in New Year's resolution because there's no point in having a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, y'all just gonna break it anyways.
Because I don't see the point of a New Year's resolution. No, it's because it doesn't take it. You don't need a New Year's to start for you to change.
Well, that is true.
You
It's
just
really up
change
to you.
whenever.
It's really up to you.
Mr. Philosophical right here. Getting deep.
No, that's just logical.
It's purely logical
That's
at
just
that
logical.
point.
It's not even philosophical.
That's why I don't
It's just
often
you
do
don't
it.
need. Yeah. Why wait for a New Year's to change whenever you think it's necessary?
It's really unlikely necessary for you to have any type of New Year's resolution, knowing that it's only up to you to change. Not really like you don't have to depend on the year or like the next year for that matter to change at all.
New year, new me. You're still the same person. You can be
You're the
new
same person.
anytime.
Yeah.
You can change anytime.
Well,
If you
Change
actually
matters.
put
Change happens gradually, not instantaneous.
it's an instinct rather than an actual like possible events.
But I guess
I'd say it's a yearly goal. That's how I see it.
no. I the way I see it is because people compare it to having a to-do list for the day. Something like that.
It's not really
Except,
like a
it's for the
to-do
year.
list.
It's
It's
like,
more.
this is the one thing that I want to do for the year.
It's more likely more likely a checklist, or rather a let's say more of it's like morphing into something that you're wanting to be, and not rather, changing on your own. You depend on what year it is, and you depend on how you do it.
Yeah, which is kind of bad. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the good part about this is is that some people think that some people treat it like a to-do list. Which who knows? Maybe some people out there could work for them.
Some people can
For us,
benefit
clearly
from
not.
that.
No.
It's their mindset against people that don't believe in
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess that's one topic that we did have. Wait, go on.
I think they also do New Year's resolutions just to compare themselves year to year.
Yeah.
Like they have like a period of time to compare themselves with. If you just change whenever, you just say, "Oh yeah, I changed during June 25th of 2023 or something like that."
So
But
basically,
if
it's
you do
more
it
of a
like
like.
at
All
the
right.
start of the year,
All right. Go
oh
on.
yeah. Wait, you can go on.
No, what I mean is what you're trying to say is it's like it's more of a glow up, for that matter.
Kind of serves like that. Yeah,
Does kind of look like
that's
it.
how I see it.
This is kind of what it looks
Yeah,
like.
that's how I see it.
I suppose.
Mhm.
I suppose that's what
Just
you.
to compare yourself from me. Yeah.
That's how we can take it. All right.
Yeah, that's it for me.
I get. I guess that's one topic that I actually never planned on having. The dog's barking again, so I gotta shut
Because
it
we
up. Hold
didn't
on.
do it last time. We're supposed to have it last time. Oh,
Yeah, the dog is not shutting up, so I'm just gonna work with it. It's a cursed cast, so whatever.
it is what it is.
It's
It is what
it
it
is what it
is.
is. Now, anyways, moving on to the actual topics that I planned, other than New Year's resolution stuff. Uh, First one, I think we've discussed this before, Drivenor. It's just that we both want to like express this to the public.
Oh, I think
Excuse
I
me.
know what this is. It's interesting. I love this.
Stupid motorcycle.
Bro.
Anyways, it's all about math. I'm not good with it, but
Ah,
there's a specific topic there that I actually found interesting, and you brought this up.
I,
Actually, no. Did you bring this up, or
I
did
did. I
did
did.
I happen to just hop in for no apparent
I
reason?
no, I did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. It was the concept of infinity. Was it,
No, it was.
or is it something different?
It's like why zero isn't really a number.
Oh yes, there. The concept of zero.
Yeah.
So, to those who are watching, to those who are watching and still doubt me, like, oh, that doesn't make sense. I mean, we use zero in equation. We use zero in equations. But what I mean by that is zero isn't a number in a true sense. The point that you can't do basic arithmetic with it, and to that you still say, oh, I'm probably insane. What do you mean? You can't do math. You can say 4 minus 0 is equals to 4, but that's the thing with math. If you with the way how arithmetic works is you take one value, and then you do something with another value, and you will get another value. But then with zero, that's not the case, because with zero, with adding stuff and with adding stuff and subtracting stuff, you still end up with the same result, which seems counterintuitive since that's what we were taught since elementary. But when we're asked to add stuff, like let's say we're asked to add let's say let's put it in a visual perspective. Let's say we're asked to add 8 sticks that you picked up in like the park. I don't know, and then someone gave you 4 sticks. How do you count that in total?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
To to give an example, let's say you pick up 8 sticks from the playground, and then some guy gives you another 4 sticks. How do you express that in an equation?
8 plus 4.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
it's
eight
eight
plus
plus
four,
four.
and then let's have another one. Let's say let's do multiplication actually. Let's say you have five pesos, and then you put it into your bank account. But then the bank has a deal with you, and they say that for every year they double it. So by next year, how much money will so that
Ten
means by
plus
next year you will have two times the amount that you had before, right? So how do you express that in an equation?
5.
Call me stupid, but
Wait.
it's five to the five raised to the power of two, I guess.
It's five times
Uh,
two.
Oh,
it's just
I'm actually
n
stupid.
times
It's
n
just five
times
times two.
Raise this
They
exponent.
got a bit confusing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is,
N times 2.
how much money are you getting increased by the end of the year, which is just $5 that 5 pesos that you already have, and then you're multiplying by 2, so you have that
Oh,
as 5 times 2.
5 times 2 and n multiplied by n.
And
Oh,
ignoring, and we're just talking about
okay.
basic arithmetic here, so there's that. Now let's start using zeros, and let's start expressing zeros in equations. Let's say you have I don't know. Let's say you have 4 needles, and then you have 4 needles, and let's say you have 4 needles, but then someone gives you no needles. Does that make sense to express in an equation? Because you're saying, oh, I have four
No,
needles, but nothing happened.
no,
So
because
it's
you
still the origin. It doesn't. Go on. Sorry.
um,
No, you go on.
because you're trying to express something with something non-existent, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the point of trying to expand upon it when it's just
When
blank?
it's trivial. It
Yeah,
feels trivial, and it is trivial. You know that there's nothing. You know that nothing happened. So why try to make an equation for it? I mean, it's nice having zero because it's nice to have zero as a result. Okay, it's nice to have it as a result. But for arithmetic, not so much. For using it as a given value. It's more of an output. And to further solidify my proof, um, a number or basic arithmetic means that you can play around with a number and then get another output from it. So not just so just ignoring my original, or ignoring what I originally said, that there has to be a different value, because some cases that might not be the case. So uh can you add a number to zero?
Well, this might be my feeble brain talking, but that's the part where it kind of gets confusing because you can probably add to it, but at the same time, nothing will affect it.
Yeah. No, just answer yes or no. Like, can you add one value to zero?
Well, yes, you can add any value to zero, but it will just maintain the
Yeah.
same.
Now, can you subtract a number by zero? So let's say a number n, or let's say a number 8 minus 0. Can you have a result from that?
Well, there are instances that it would still have a result, but for me, I would say no, not at all.
How so?
Well, this is somewhat taught to me before because integers exist. So if you minus anything to zero, or if it's the other way around, it would be a different story. Like if you mu-
Well,
if
yeah,
you
but
s-
then
yeah
okay, sorry.
if you subtract 8 from 0, it would result to -8. But if you subtract 0 to 8, then there would be no absolute value taken away from 8.
Well, that is still a result. So that is still a result. It's still negative. It's still -8, which can be interpreted as 8 subtracted from the as 8 less than you originally had, or 8 a way to interpret that is like that, like when you profit something, it becomes positive, but then when you're a debt, it becomes negative.
No,
So
no,
there
no.
is still a result to that.
The thing is though, the thing I had in mind is like put it in like in an equation. There's a different story between two equations. Like the first one is 8 minus 0, which results to a negative integer, which is -8. And then if you put
That's
0
the other way
minus
around.
8, it's still gonna be it's not really like the same thing. It's just different.
It just It's the other way around. First of all, it's the other way around.
Is it?
Uh, yeah, you said 8 minus 0 equals -8.
Who taught me that?
0 minus 8 is -8. So, anyways, there's okay, but that is still a result. Like I said, it's still useful in real life. I mean, that's how, because -8 is not only just a placeholder for, in real life, we use negative numbers just as a placeholder, so that eventually hopefully throughout the rest of the calculation, it becomes a positive value. But then, like I said before, it's also a placeholder for saying that you've arrived at the opposite spectrum of something. So the example that I gave earlier was debt and profit. There's the concept of debt and profit, but then there's also stuff like, let's see, the concept of velocity. So a positive velocity would mean that you are moving at a quote unquote at a positive vector. So it's either upwards or rightwards. But then a negative velocity would mean that you're moving downwards and downwards or leftwards, or just the other way from where you originally started from, and so on, so on. That's it. It's useful in math, so it is, there is still a value for it. There is some real life value to it.
Something tells me that I was taught wrong when doing math.
Maybe so, or
Funny
maybe
enough,
he just or maybe he just
I was in math club before, but I don't remember anything from there.
saying yeah, because everyone is just just busy and focusing on
Yeah,
everything else.
yeah, there's a lot of
What do
things.
you do in math club?
Uh,
What do you guys do there?
talk about math with other people. I
No, the
have
thing
no
is,
clue.
okay, now this is another story time. All right, thank goodness because you brought that up, because this will extend the podcast even further. Um, so I was in math club when I was like grade 3 and 4, I guess. Actually, no, it's like 2 and 3. I joined math club because one, I wanted to get smart for math. I joined in there and we had a little bit of discussions about how we use PEMDAS or MDAS. And that's basically the entire topic about it. Until one day I
How we use
eventually dropped out of it because one, it was scorching hot outside, and I was in a public school. I was sent to a public school to learn
dang,
MDAS.
that makes sense.
Thing is, I had nothing to support me. The ceiling fan was not even that strong. It's not even a ceiling fan. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like a ceiling fan, but it's not the ones that look like turbines. They look like regular fans so far, but they spin 360 degrees.
Oh god.
But
Oh, those metal ones.
yeah, the metal ones, but they still suck because they emit hot radiating winds, which sucked, and I didn't like that. So I eventually passed out, or fainted rather.
Bruh.
I had a heat stroke that day, so I dropped out of math club.
Why
So
it passed out in this confusion?
no, it wasn't confusing. It was actually so hot. I was actually learning something. Up until now, I still do know how to do PEMDAS at least.
Uh, understandable.
Except that there was no exponents.
Also, Brad, you're muted, bro.
No, he knows.
No,
I
I thought he was
remember.
talking or something. I don't know.
He might be talking to someone, or he's just in here to listen. I did tell him that if he wants to talk, he can give out his own opinions. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna move on to the same topic still because I know we haven't gone to the
So
actual.
going back,
Yeah, go on.
going back. So you can subtract with 0, and then you can subtract numbers to 0. Now, can you multiply things with 0?
Well, if you ask me, you can still multiply numbers to 0.
And still get a result?
Yeah, you still get the same result as any other number that you multiply to it.
Yeah, which is 0, which is it's what it is. So you can multiply stuff to 0. Now, can you divide stuff? Can you divide stuff to 0? So can you say 0 divided by some number?
Yeah, I think I've answered this before, but I'm gonna let the viewer decide on what the answer should be, or anyone
No,
else for
can
this matter.
No, not the other way
Not in
around.
the question.
0 divided by something.
So
What
0,
is 0 divided by 8? What?
0.
Yeah, the 0.
it's
So
0.
Yeah,
there's
it's 0.
that.
It's
Now,
0.
can you divide stuff to 0?
That's the thing.
Or can
No.
you divide stuff by 0? Sorry.
No.
You can divide with 0, but somehow it doesn't make sense if you divide by 0.
Yeah. But then the question is, why? It just doesn't make sense now, doesn't it? And that's the thing. It doesn't. Because it doesn't make sense to divide something by zero. Because the way how division is interpreted,
There's
it, your sub is you repeated it's repeated subtraction. And it's repeated subtraction. And the way you get a result is how many times you did that operation uh to get to the point where you divide nothing. So as an example, let's say we have 16 divided by 2. So
Also, hello
16 minus,
Mari-san.
so let's start with 16 minus 2. So we get 14. And then you can do it so on and so on. And you'll get the result eventually to be 8. You subtracted 2 to 16 8 times, right?
I don't know how to answer that.
Basically, you know how division is just repeated subtraction.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That part I do
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, there's that. And the reason why that is because subtraction really is just repeated subtract is really just or division is really just repeated subtraction. So you take a number, and then some number divided by another can be interpreted as that first number minus has can be interpreted as how many times can you subtract the second number to the first number and then get to zero. There's that. And you can do this with any number. I mean, you could do it with just simple integers. You could do it
Hmm.
with stuff that don't normally compute. Example like I don't know, 15 divided by 2. And if you do that, you get 15 minus 2. You'll eventually get to 1, which you'll eventually get to 1, which adds the seventh point. And then by that point you have 0. And then at that point you have 1 left. And then how many times can you? And then how many times? And then how do you reduce it to 0? Well, we have to think a bit more. We have to think a bit more creatively here. We're minusing by 2. Let's split 1 into let's split 1 into 2. Let's split 1 into 2 parts. And or sorry, let's you get the point. You get the point. You'll arrive at some number eventually with any number if you divide stuff. If you divide some number divided by 0, or if you divide some number divided by another number. Now, to interpret dividing something to 0, or dividing 0 to some number. Let's say someone give me a number. Let's say no, you
7.
go on. Let's say 7. Okay. So let's follow the same logic that I said earlier. Let's divide 7. Let's minus 7 to minus 0, and then let's minus 7 by 0. So 7 minus 0 is 0. So shouldn't that mean that 7 divided by 0 is 1? What do you guys think?
This I don't remember having this topic about it.
This Okay. So there's that. So there's some. It feels like it should be 1, but then
Actually,
let's
now I
say
do remember actually.
now let's say um we take 8 divided by 0, and it seems that it's also 1. So 8 minus 0 is 1. But then if we put them side by side, that should mean that an equation of 7 divided by 0 should be equal to 8 divided by 0. And by that logic, does that mean 7 equals 8? Once you start playing around with how 0 works, math just stops making sense. But the moment you start dividing by 0, this math just stops making sense, because you're arriving at um because you're playing around with nothing, and then you're playing around with basically trying to imagine things, but then there's nothing to physically interpret, basically.
Hmm. Well, you're right on that one. Math does indeed get to a confusing point when it comes to like number 0 and dividing to it.
When it comes to dividing when it comes to dividing by 0, and this is the case with a lot of things. This is the case with a multiple amount of things. So first of all, yeah, you have some number divided by 0, which can be traced down to just simply 0 divided by 0, making no sense. Because what is 0 divided by 0?
0
How,
divided by
how do
0.
you how do you even process that? How do you even, I don't know, how do you physically process that? How do you divide nothing by nothing?
Hmm. That is.
The trick is you don't. The trick is you don't. It makes no sense to divide something by nothing. You just say there's nothing.
Yeah, my
That's it.
brain
Then
went.
just arrive at nothing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, go on.
just,
Actually,
I don't know, add stuff to it.
my brain did not function
Just
that well.
basically add stuff. Yeah, yeah, because we're talking about 0 and stuff. You're just talking about how 0 doesn't make sense in terms of arithmetic.
I mean, didn't you say that this also
This
applies
is the
to
case with
having infinity?
yes. Okay, infinity is a different case because 0 is just a placeholder for nothing. But then infinity, however, is we don't even know if infinity exists. We don't even have a physical application for infinity. Like where can you see infinity in real life? Actually, like try thinking about it.
Hmm. Well, that is.
Anybody?
Infinity is just a vast uh, amount of numbers, but no one knows how much or what number it is specifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thing is,
Infinity is just an imaginably large number.
this was also debated. Like, at some point it was debated, but someone did say that anything can be divided to infinity, but it doesn't make sense because infinity can just be in any number, and you can't even tell what is the
Yeah, it's just, yeah, infinity is just
you know,
a number. It doesn't mean infinity is just infinity can be any number, but it
yeah.
doesn't mean it's a number itself.
You can't
Which
just
is
say
why
that anything is divisible
um
to infinity. No, it's just that, yeah, it might be. Well, no, it's not really might be. It definitely cannot be divisible by any number by all means. Because you're just secondhand guessing what infinity is and what infinity can value.
How about infinity divided by infinity?
Same?
well,
Hmm.
normally you would think, oh, it should be one because a number divided by itself would be just one time. But we just talked about how infinity is just a placeholder for any unimaginable number. So we don't actually know if those two infinities are the same size, which seems rather BS. But let me give you a thought experiment. You're familiar with the
Ridiculous.
concept of real numbers, right? Or really let's start with the concept of natural numbers, right? The numbers from
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to positive
Yeah.
infinity. Now, um and then after natural numbers, there comes the set of all integers, which is the same numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but then
Negative.
to negative 1 and 2. Now,
Yeah.
which is larger? Natural numbers, the list of natural numbers, or the list of all integers? And how can we tell which is bigger?
Hmm. Are you talking about just sheer number or value?
Value, of course.
If it's value, probably natural.
What?
Am I right?
No, definitely not.
Because wait, if you're talking about value, I
Wait,
think
Okay,
I,
wait, wait, wait,
how
wait, wait.
so?
If
okay,
if you're
what I was
alright, go on.
thinking was adding every into itself, so it technically will make zero, right?
But why? Not really.
Because negative is okay. Zero, negative one, and plus one. Negative two plus two.
Okay, sure. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, that's
That's
the
what
thing
I
I
thought.
wanted to say. That
But
natural numbers are actually bigger than
in terms
integer.
of size, rather, not value. because then that means natural numbers win, because that just leaves it positive is bigger, as I said. And how can we tell which is which? How can you tell which is bigger?
Oh, so you're talking about set then. Well, that's
Yes.
the thing. We don't know which one is bigger amongst the sets. If you're talking about actual value,
Or
then
We can,
natural is.
we can, because check this out. So we know no. Here's how we can tell which one is bigger. So we take one, and then we assign one number. We assign one value to the whole integer line. So we assign one from the from the list of natural numbers to, let's say, I don't know, negative one as well. Just to keep it simple. And then we do that for every other number. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then after that, we would still be left with, you know, the negative numbers. So that means that
negative.
the list of that means the list of all integers is bigger than the list of all is bigger than the list of all
Natural.
what's it called, natural numbers. Uh so there's that. And what's interesting about this is both parts are both lists are supposed to be infinite, or supposed to be both infinitely large. Yet here we just prove that one of them is actually bigger than the other one, even though both of them even though both of them are inconceivably big. That tells us that not all infinities are the same size. Which again goes back to say that not all infinities are the same. And this goes back to what Sui said, which is why infinity divided by infinity doesn't make sense, because you're not sure if those two infinities came from the same source. So one
Oh,
could come from, I don't know, let's say one came from a number 1 times infinity, and then the other one could come from, like, I don't know, let's
negative.
say 2 to the infinity.
Having problems for
That
this
that
too.
Just by that, they shouldn't be equal. But then if we evaluate from their original equations, they should be equal. But then from their original, they sh- but then from their original equation format, they're not the same. They don't look the same. Yet you're telling me it just doesn't line up.
There's also negative infinities, right?
Well, yeah, there's negative infinity, which is just a unimaginably big number for negative numbers.
So you can't really divide. Okay, what I asked earlier was dividing infinity with infinity. The same thing can be said with negative infinity, right?
Yeah, of course, following the same rules of arithmetic.
Man,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you still treat infinity as a normal, as if infinity if you treat negative infinity the same way how you would treat in the negative version, the additive inverse of a natural number, well, you would still arrive at the same. So you can't just say, oh, negative infinity divided by negative infinity should be different. No, not really. It's still infinity. It's just negative. It's just negative.
Wait, wait, going back to that actual argument, infinity is considered as any number, right?
Yes, just
So,
any unimaginably
so it
big number.
can still be a negative or a positive. You can't really tell which one is which. So, despite having a
There is
negative
no,
infinity, it's just still infinity.
It's just negative infinity is just okay. How do we interpret negative numbers? Um, Negative numbers just means the just means the additive inverse of a of its natural counterpart. That makes absolutely no sense. But trying to define it means that a negative number is just the same number positive except it's for negative basically. It's supposed to be a placeholder there, and the same thing can be said for negative infinity, which is just a placeholder for for saying that there's an imaginable lack of something there. That's how you interpret it, negative infinity.
So basically, both numbers like infinity, and zero are just placeholders, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
seems like we have learned something from there. For the first time I've ever learned something from a podcast.
Math as well, though.
Math too. I don't like
God
math.
damn. Eh, we can move on.
All right, let's move on then. I think I can move on to the next topic. As of now, my stream is just whatever the hell it's doing because of Converge. But at least it's not really disconnecting me
Oh,
unlike last
nice.
time.
So cool.
Hey, thanks Converge for having this shit ass Wi-Fi.
See, why
Anyways,
Converge? No, don't sponsor us. Just kidding, do.
anyways,
do.
yeah. The next topic is have you all heard about the Nashville school shooter?
Ah,
The
no.
Nashville
I'm
shooter.
about to get canceled.
Now we're not about to
Okay,
get canceled
guys.
because the only people that are canceling us are the ones that support her. Or him, whatever the hell the gender
Seriously?
was.
I only saw news about it. I didn't know what the like
Wait, what
why.
happened?
Yeah, what's the agenda? Or what's the motivation?
Actually, I
Wait, can you
think
tell?
I
Can you
do
tell?
remember
Can you tell the
this.
kind people?
I do remember the story
Can someone
behind it.
Can someone Go on.
So the story behind this entire thing on why the school shooting happened, it's because there was this oh, excuse me. Anyways, um
Bro.
this school shooter was trying to send a message about how how transphobia is not allowed to anywhere, or how transphobia affects her badly. So so in her motive, or in her way of like making a movement for trans people, she decided to go to school with a flak jacket and a gun, and killed like three kids. One actually was a hero and pulled the alarm, and
Yeah.
three workers in school. And somehow this is where it gets worse, alright? Well, first it gets better because one, the school shooter was shot down by actual cops. They were also heroes. And it was for a good reason too. But this is where it gets worse actually. The media decided to just side with the transgender because they misgendered the shooter. The shooter was identified as a he him and not a she her. And then as it was broadcast to the news, well, I don't know if it's every people from the LGBTQA. I'm just saying a portion of it decided to stand by her and then ignore the fact that she killed people. Or he killed
My
people.
question is, did the person kill people who are actually trans?
I don't think they're transphobic. The ones that they killed. But I'm fairly certain
What
that
was
all they did.
Take into consideration the fact that that the police had to kill her. I doubt it.
I
I doubt she had to. I doubt she actually selected. Just randomly started shooting people just because why not?
Thing is, I think I've seen these sets of messages before from this said transgender, that they don't care anymore and they're gonna go out with a bang to send a message at least or something. It was a bad message, that's for certain, because
What? What? Huh?
because one thing, if you want to start a movement, start with something like good at least. Like the Martin, it's like the Martin
You don't just
Luther
start with a
King
good
thing.
message. You keep a good message all throughout that movement.
Thing is,
That's why people keep joining because it's something worth fighting for.
Yeah, it's something that worth fighting for, but not worth killing for.
True.
Like,
Well,
it's
that's debatable.
well, I mean,
Debatable in the concept of
there's parts of it.
circumstances.
There's parts of it that's debatable, but the thing is, it's still the same. Like, if you want to start a movement, at least convince people and don't shoot. Convince people to be on
Yeah.
your
Okay.
side.
Oh.
Don't be
Oh, the
actually.
shooting start. Oh, the shooting started because. Oh,
She was trying to
I
send
get
them.
it. I get it.
They're trying to send a message. It didn't work well. They wanted to start a movement. It was
It
not
didn't.
the right way. Like, if you want to start a movement about
Yeah.
trans
No.
people,
Definitely
at
not.
least make a speech about it, or how, or like convince people on why they're being oppressed. But then
You didn't have to kill people for it.
now what they did actually affected the entire community. Now everyone thinks that every trans people that are being bullied in school,
Trans person
a trans person, yes, and that every trans
as
person
the
in
is a corner kid. It's a
there's a
freaking
chance
corner
that they
kid.
might come back with a gun. That's how the media portrays them now because of that specific movement alone.
Every trans kid is a corner kid. The most.
I think
God.
you know what I think about this.
Yeah, go on.
But
Okay, if you can't get a message using your own words, that means you're not qualified. But you don't have the
Yeah, go on.
yeah, fucking, no one always explain. No one always
Thing,
explain.
all right.
I will explain it later. You Facebook.
Thing is, like, a message is supposedly a message. You give out like not really like specifically speeches. You can also protest. That's another thing. A protest is
but
actually way
then
better than an actual shooting.
yeah, because people actually listen. Because people actually listen to you,
Yeah.
and as long as you're not doing anything that breaks the law, which protesting isn't for the most part,
Most part.
you should be fine.
Thing is, it's
I mean,
not.
it's not. I mean, not everybody's gonna listen to you. I mean,
Yeah.
some people might think you're a bit disruptive,
If you're
but I mean, some people. There are still the people that think you're actually fighting for something good.
if no one's listening to you, that can be two sides of a coin. One being you're a bad speaker, or you can't convince anyone, or no one's gonna listen to you because they have their own opinions and their own rights on what they think about it. But then
Yeah.
this transgender, decided to find the third face of this coin and started killing people on their own.
Oh, you don't respect my opinion, then you don't deserve to respect anybody's opinion. Then you should just die.
I get it, she's being bullied. Alright, fine. But it still doesn't give her the right to kill other people or maybe shoot up the school for something. If she wants to handle being, if she wants to find solutions from being bullied, at least consult an adult or something. Hmm? See, that's the problem with the generation today. Okay, now I cannot I cannot say it like that. I sound like an older dude, even though I was born in this
We're
generation.
heading there. We're actually heading there.
Right.
We're heading there.
All right. All right.
Here, but one thing's for certain, it's like a stereotypical American shooter in some sort of aspect, but people are just downing on her because of a different aspect.
Yeah, basically. Thing is, if you want,
Reason for shooting, bullying, yes, but specifically gender. So people are really just making that a point out of it. Yes, she actually made up her own stir because she shot someone because of misgendering. Bullying is an aspect that is basically just another school shooter, but with a different cause. That out.
she somehow did that at like like the MAGA
Yeah.
movement. It's not really the same, but
What?
you get the point. It's like wanted to make a movement, but it ended up
No, I
the
don't.
wrong
What
way.
is the MAGA movement?
Make America Great
What the hell
Again.
is that?
It's
Oh,
yeah. See,
Wait.
the MAGA movement is actually done professionally, like just protests or parades and whatnot, or maybe like I don't know if it's parades, but they keep on shouting, they keep on protesting. That's actually handled way better. No one died during that time, and in this scenario, they tried to make a point, and somehow the point ended.
They did for the most part.
It did for the most part, but it ended into I don't know the bodies of who they killed.
Oh man.
You
What?
Yeah,
know, you know how I see this.
yeah. Go on.
Finally, there's no news. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make an analogy. It's like having a debate with someone. Since you can't could convince them or persuade them with your words, and they're getting under your skin, you instead challenge them to a fist fight or something physical, right?
It becomes stupid that you bring in other manners of fighting when there is a set way of settling differences
Yeah,
brought
instead of
to begin with.
Well,
yeah,
I
instead of
mean,
it
there were no
proving your
arguments
point,
in this
it's
one.
like you're
It just proves you're
defending your
unprofessional
ego.
and shouldn't be the one actually shouldn't be the one representing that specific movement.
You want to represent
We
yourself
can see
as a good
people
person
agree with
or like
for
a different
them,
type of people, but you
but
represent yourself as a bad person already by then.
It doesn't look like you're fighting it doesn't look like you're fighting for it doesn't look like you're fighting for the movie. It just looks like you have anger issues.
yeah,
Just just looks like you can't take
Misgender
anything.
me again and I'll shoot you.
I mean,
Eh,
okay, I get the case that they're being mostly harassed because of the gender spectrum. We'll go on about that later, but the thing
oh,
is,
oh, oh no.
you cannot have that solution
You
every
can't relate
time.
that. You can't relate that to this. That's different.
Like,
That's a different topic. And why are you trying to relate that to this when no one ever brought it?
no, the gender spectrum is
That's
something.
so unprofessional.
Who, me?
No, no. What you're talking about?
Oh,
So you're just kidding.
it's the transgender that we're talking about here. Yeah,
Bringing in the gender spectrum into
school
I
shooting.
don't know a topic about yeah about
No, the thing I'm pointing out is
yeah,
that
but yes.
most people are, yeah, most people in America leaning to the transgenders or the minorities rather, they have the tendency to become violent when provoked. But then there's not really that much of a solution. There's actually plenty of solutions to handle that, and they resort to the worst one possible. There is no wonder why the media depicts them as they are from that one scenario.
Because you show it that way, and you're gonna complain. Oh, why do people stereotype us this?
Yeah,
Not our
exactly.
fault.
It's not our fault we see you as that. You did that yourself, so you can't blame us
You did this yourself. Exactly.
for what we see in you. So if you are a transgender and you support that shooter, well, my tendency is to think that you are gonna be that shooter.
Exactly.
So, the people out there that may come across to this podcast, I'm not saying that anyone will uh will come across this podcast.
Please don't.
I hope to God that you don't. It's just that I prefer that if you want to support something, support the actual obvious good choices.
So if you make the right decisions before I don't know before thinking before thinking a school shooter who fights for transphobic rights is a great idea.
Just keep in mind, 6 lives were lost. I don't think the 7 should count.
Damn. For my kid.
3 kids, 3 adults. I don't think we should count the 7th.
No, this was all done by how old? How old was the shooter?
It's probably
28.
it's probably
By
like,
a 28-year-old.
yeah, a 28. That 28-year-olds should have the tendency to think maturely instead of like, wait, that was a high school too,
Been
right?
trying to shoot. Yes,
What in what grade was she?
bro. I have no clue. Former student. Oh, former student.
Oh, it's a former student. Oh, it must have been a long time
Before,
bully
before,
victim.
before she died. Before former student.
Did you actually look up the article about this?
I have it on right now from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
Thing is, if you were bullied that long, you could still survive probably. There was this one guy that stood up for himself that was bullied by someone from a Supreme Court, and he had to point
Eh,
that out. He
some people deal with bullying.
Yeah, some people don't
Some
want to
people
deal
deal
with it
with
that
bullying in
way.
different ways. But this isn't a good. This isn't a way. It's not the way, people.
People, if you want to find ways, find actual ways. This is not one of them.
We joke. We joke about the corner kid, but we hope to God it's not real.
We joke about many things, but we hope to God that none of them would become real.
Or real.
Dear God, what has happened to the people
We're at an age.
nowadays?
We're at an age where everything becomes satire. Please make this one be a satire as well.
Everything can be satire. You can tell which one is which. You can joke.
It doesn't take. I don't know. It doesn't.
Doesn't take that much brain cells to think which one is which. We can joke about American tragedies. We can joke about any other tragedies in the world, and we don't mean it that way.
But we still do think that they are tragic.
Yes,
We
exactly.
still do think they are tragic. I mean, we talk about them because we talk about them because they're big enough. They're a big enough deal to be considered tragic.
Yeah. And we talk about them because they're the trend too. That's about it. That's about the reason why, actually. You know what? Let's move on. I don't.
They're trending.
I'm getting heated because of this topic alone, and I'm gonna get more heated after this.
Yeah, you can tell.
Okay. Actually, we haven't gotten past an hour yet, so I'm gonna have to extend this a little bit more. Okay, so enough about the Nashville school shooter. Too bad you're
Oh.
no longer a he, him, you're a waswer.
It was a her.
Nah, it was a
Was
biologically.
her.
Careful, you're
they them-
gonna
they
shoot
them-
you in the afterlife.
They them eat shit. Her. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, biologically, you're still a her. Like,
Exactly. I don't fucking care what gender you are. I'm labeling your hit as a her based on what.
I
If
believe
you
in
don't, then
Ben
I'll give you another. I'll give you another label. I'll give you fucking it. I'll call you fucking it.
I believe
Thank
in
God
Ben
you weren't in
Shapiro.
America, or else you'd be one of the victims there.
Oh, I'd
Cool.
definitely become one of them. What? Did I just hear that?
The fuck is that?
Try.
Fuck is that?
I heard duck.
Yes.
Alright. Now we can be an actual.
God damn it.
Now we can actually
It's
be.
ringing in my fucking ears.
We
Jesus
can be
Christ.
an actual podcast for TV radio now. You know, I believe in Mark Walsh and Ben Shapiro.
I listen to Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Isn't that the guy that
The guy with
the bald
The
guy?
bald guy and the other bald.
the bald UFC commentator, the bald UFC caster.
Yeah, the guy that said that
I feel like we're all trying. I feel like we're all doing our best to ignore Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate's out of the list here. No.
That guy.
Andrew Tate's
We're
different.
not talking about him today. Never and never will.
I don't want to get arrested this early.
He's something.
He got arrested
Christian
for
Tate
something I
was
don't
in,
know about. I'm not
He's
talking
in a
about him.
survival TV show.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys? Just okay. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it here. Did you guys know Andrew Tate got released from prison?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that on Twitter actually.
Yeah, he got released from prison, but then he's on house arrest now. So somehow,
What was the reason why he got
Here,
arrested though? Alright, we're talking about Andrew Tate. What was the reason why he got
trafficking.
arrested?
Alleged human trafficking,
Yeah,
Was that an
with the
actual
devil's tango with it.
whatever that is.
was that actually true or was
It's alleged.
that a
It's still
false
alleged.
allegation?
We don't know. We're not talking about it.
Alright,
Yep.
fair enough.
It's
I don't want
alleged.
to talk about it either. I'm not getting arrested this early. Alright, now
Not
moving
this
on.
early, but maybe.
I mean,
Now.
Andrew Tate
I'm
tracks
actually
down your
legal enough to get
podcast,
arrested.
shuts it down.
Same. We all are. Dude, we all are.
Yeah, I feel like Sui's
You're
younger than all of us.
fine. Is he? No, he's the same. He's a bit older than me.
Really?
Ooh.
You're 18 now?
You,
Oh yeah, I am older than that.
Oh, you're 18.
Older than
Alright.
him.
I'm
you,
older
you
than all of
bitch.
you. I'm all of you. Fucks.
Yeah, dude,
Alright.
that's why I was doing those stuff in
You're older and I still don't recognize how old you are. My bad, friend, for that one.
bro. No, it's just I look really
Yeah, you haven't changed.
fine. I look really
Alright, now moving on to the
Hey,
next
You
topic.
act really young. It's not that you look. You act young. Shut up.
You
Stop
don't-
trying to sugarcoat it.
You don't.
Dude, act young.
Challenge ass motherfucker.
You can have a Sigma face, but you still act like you're below your age.
Like I'm 12. What are you?
You act like you're 15. Shut up. You sound like it too. Also,
Sound like a 50-year-old.
alright, that's some friendly banter that we
I was
take every day,
15.
folks.
Man, when I was 15, I didn't enjoy much. Let me enjoy.
Like,
That's why. That's why. You're making up for your lost time. I see.
Exactly. It's like childhood.
oopsies.
That's sad, dude. That's sad as shit.
Oopsies, I haven't spent my childhood anywhere.
Don't worry.
Never got out with the cool kids out there in the
Yeah.
streets.
It's a phase. Don't worry about
You're calling yourself a Chinibyo. Nice.
Ooh,
Sui's calling himself a Chinibyo.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Maybe I am. A delusional guy.
Oh, you're delusional. Aren't we all delusional?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Are you guys
or
even
see
real?
numbers.
Is this shit? Yeah.
You guys see
No.
those weird looking gummy bears on your tables? You guys should take them.
Alright.
No, I can see the Wario gum.
is that delusions or intrusive thoughts?
You know that meme of
Do it.
you know that meme of that lady like calculating everything? Then numbers pop out
that's-
of nowhere.
No.
That's just you.
Instead of eye floaters, I get fucking numbers. I get fucking
Slander.
equations and shit.
You got the pyramid and the cylinder.
I got the traces of the pyramid in my eye.
Somehow I'm seeing different things. I can see everything getting pixelated. Must be playing too
Man's
much
breaking through the
Minecraft.
matrix. Quick, stop him!
Must be playing too much Minecraft nowadays. Anyways, moving on to the next topic.
Motherfuckers breaking through the matrix.
The Matrix is different. I'm telling you what. It's not green, it's blue.
Blue. So are the color of your pills.
The pills that what pill did I take? I have never been this erect for that long.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. So, what are your
Moving on.
guys' thoughts about the schools teaching about the gender spectrum? Like, okay, let's put it in this way. They're teaching kids that they can be whatever they want to be.
Should it be a lesson?
It's like it's more of a
I think that's the big question. I think that's is that what you're trying to ask here?
they teach it as a lesson. Like they teach it as if it's like a big thing to talk about. Like they say as if like these kids can be
Eh,
who they want to be. They can choose who they wish to be, like gender-wise,
okay,
obviously.
ignoring ignoring all the controversy regarding,
No.
that specific group,
Yep.
just the concept of having different having 100 genders. I'm so sorry for laughing at that.
Yeah, I laugh at it. I laugh about it all the time.
I'm so sorry. Ignoring that, just ignoring just talking about,
Yeah.
people labeling themselves as being more than just a male or a female. Should it be lesson taught? Okay, you guys start. What? I'll leave
It,
my.
Alright,
You
go
guys
on.
think it should?
I have my opinion about this, but I'm gonna say it later.
isn't male and female sex not gender?
Whatever the fuck the gender version of that is.
Okay. Yeah, it's male and female is sex, and
Sex.
gender is the social construct. So it's a man or a woman.
Yeah, the thing is. Alright, I have my
Because
opinion
Is
about
it
appearance
this.
is
okay? There you
a social construct.
go. Oh, we live in a society.
Alright,
You ever
so
get it? Shut up, fucking
so
Joker
your
ass motherfucker.
idea of teaching
Clown.
is more likely a social construct.
Emoji.
For me, I I'd say I guess no. Sorry for the transgenders watching this, but or the other 100 genders or fairy tale thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry,
Oh no.
I was quoting
Oh no.
I was quoting Shrek.
Oh no.
But anyways, as I was saying,
This stream's gonna be gone.
now as I was saying, like these kids can learn about them as they grow up. They eventually will find out on their own. You don't have to teach them anything. You can't force them into thinking that, oh, this can be polyamorous or whatever the hell that is, or this can be transsexual. This can be non-binary.
They're saying so saying learning about different genders is a decision by the kids themselves
Yes,
that they should make they should take for themselves.
it's like how punishments work, like or discipline. They learn as they
It's
grow.
optional.
It's an optional thing. You can't really teach them as if it's mandatory.
Fuck. Well, sadly, it's more coin flippy than it is optional.
Thing is, that's the problem. It's they make it as if it's a mandatory thing. You can't say like
It
the
should.
gender spectrum should be mandatory. It's not. That's the thing. Okay, I'm about to say something very controversial about this, but
You're about to say something that'll
Alright.
that'll magically turn off the stream.
no, the thing is, I 100% agree with Mark Walsh about the ideology of teaching someone about who they wish to be in school, because that's just okay. I can't. Am I allowed to say this?
Oh no.
I'm gonna say it's more of a.
Zenti, we're still streaming.
Yes, I'm streaming. I know.
We're streaming to
Thing
live.
is, I'm just saying
We're
that
streaming.
it's not really a good mindset to teach these kids about these 100 genders. They're not capable of handling that information already. They won't be even to like they cannot express themselves as they think they should express themselves as.
Yet
Not yet, at
they'll
least.
eventually learn it.
They'll eventually learn it as they grow. It's an optional thing, not a mandatory thing. Even I got confused at
Be
one
right back.
point before. See, all right, you can be back for a while. Thing is, if you choose to teach these kids, no problem, but the media will think of you as a monster for forcing these kids to believe in something that only you believe in. It's it's just not something recommendable for, the educational system. Some parts of Asia would agree to what I'm saying because not everyone can be as free as America, or not everyone can be as, let's say, let's just say creative. Thing is, you can't
Socially creative.
socially creative, yeah. It's just
Whatever the
not.
hell that means.
It's just not something that should be mandatory around the school grounds. If you want to identify as this, let them identify themselves as who they want to be growing up. Don't identify for them. Well, that's about my idea.
Okay,
How about in militaries?
I think I would have to. I'd have to agree with Sui here. I'd say that it's mandatory that that kids learn about just the basic knowledge that gender is a social construct, and anybody can be anybody they want besides just being a man or a woman.
No, no, no. The topic, the idea
Because
here is is it like let's say, is it fine to teach these kids about who they should be or who they wish to be?
about what a lesbian, what a
No,
gay, what a so
not
one
really
LGBTQ.
defining, but finding themselves in within these gender constructs.
Ah, no. That's too early.
See, that's the thing. That's what I was talking
Just
about. It's
but
not.
then
It should
it's
not be mandatory.
it. I'd say it should. Yeah. It's nice if it's nice if you know
It's
if you
nice to.
do. But then
It's
it's
nice to let
also
them
no
know.
problem if you. It's also no problem if you stay that way. If
Yeah.
you stay as a man or a woman.
Thing is,
It
it's
is what it
fine
is.
to
Ayun
it's
na.
fine to let them know about what those genders are, but it's not fine to have them be assigned forcefully to those said genders. Like I have no
Well, no,
problems with them.
obviously.
I have no problems with them teaching us like those 100 genders. I just don't want to be assumed that that's what I am. Like even this pissed me off because at one point one of my classmates even assumed that I was bisexual,
Oh, I remember that.
and I did not like that. See, that's where the offense comes
Another
in.
person.
It's it's the assumption that counts. See, if you teach these kids about
It all
yeah,
got messy when when we stepped out of the man woman.
yeah, see, that's the point I was making. Like everything will go downhill if you teach these kids this early, because eventually they can find it out for themselves. That's the easy part. Then and only then they can find out themselves on who they are within the gender spectrum. They cannot be
Like,
assigned or assumed they should be in that gender spectrum. Otherwise, people would be either mocking them, judging them, so on and so forth. That's what I was trying to say. Let them learn as they grow. Don't
I see.
forcefully not don't forcefully push these knowledge into these kids' minds. That's the poison that
Don't make
Mark
them think.
Walsh is.
Don't make them think now.
Yeah, don't make them think
Though,
now. Let them learn
can I
as they
say
grow old.
something?
Alright, go on, Sue.
I guess.
Can I say remember back then when there wasn't really a gender spectrum, more of a sexuality spectrum, right?
Funny enough, I lived that age.
Right? No,
How male or
because
female are you?
no, there's
Mark?
man and woman. That's that. Man, woman, trans woman. That's that.
Yeah.
Three. And then there's just different sexualities, whether you're straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, poly,
Ah, yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
I think for me, I think people started to incorporate sexuality into gender.
It just doesn't
That's
make sense.
why
No.
that's why there's a lot of right?
All of a sudden we got some maps. No, just kidding. Don't. No.
No,
No.
do
No, we're
not
stepping
add
back.
maps in
Okay.
there. Maps is not
We're
a part of
Bro's got
LGBTQ.
bro's got a
We're
Venn
stepping away from that.
diagram.
Alright, should I explain what maps is
Bro's got
to
a
the viewers
fishbone
then?
diagram.
I can explain what maps is.
Yeah.
So,
Don't. No. We're not
no,
talking about it.
we're not going that deep into the rabbit hole.
So
We're not going that route.
why?
No.
Alright, fine. We're
No.
not going down.
Anyways,
All I can say are three
Continue.
letters, Marco. I think I
Continue.
mean Dravenor. 3 letters, and they will know
No.
what maps is all about. Let me
No, 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 no,
let me
no,
start
you
with the
can't.
first letter.
You can't.
E. Actually, I can
Moving
start.
on.
All right, you know what?
Oh, I
Fine. Let's
remember.
move on. Let's go back with the topic.
Moving on.
Go back with the topic. As I was saying, you let the kids understand what these genders are all about, and only then they can decide whether they can be that gender on their own. Don't assign them for them for don't assign them yourself. Let them assign for themselves. And don't assume that they are that. And yeah, basically that's it. Keep it simple.
Tell them that this exists. It doesn't have to be a full lesson.
Yeah, the thing
The only
is,
time I
thi-
accept someone to misgender me is they misgender me as an attack helicopter.
thing is,
Only time.
what if there was this one teacher that is a part of the LGBTQ. You know that one they them that basically identifies as
Oh no.
a ton of genders,
That just
and
no.
see that's the thing I was trying to talk about.
This is no, not at this,
Gender
not this,
anorexic.
You,
not this. No,
you cannot
no,
straightforward just identify your or not really not identify,
no,
but
not this, not this, sir.
don't introduce yourself with 50 tons of pronouns.
Can I can
Like,
I identify as a black Chinese gay man?
Well, that's
this live stream's gone. Stream's gone.
I don't know what
Stream
to
is
say about
gone.
that. I know this is a cursed cast for a reason, but somehow there's a limit to what curse is.
See? There's a difference
I'm
between
not,
cursed
trying
and
to be racist. I'm not
There's a-
trying to be racist.
not trying to. You are. I'm just saying
I'm
you
just
are.
saying.
We can be offensive, but we're
What
not
I want to
overall
No,
offensive.
stop. Stop. Moving on.
Alright, fine, let's move on.
Please move
whatever.
on. Please move on, Zeddy.
Alright, let's move on.
Or this guy, I don't know, gets to the stream.
I guess I have one personal topic, I guess. I deleted this earlier because I was still thinking of a topic, but so I think
We can go ahead.
I think we've tackled this before, but what jobs are you guys taking?
Mathematician.
Uh,
That's yeah. That's
math
kind of a spoiler from earlier. So
Did you
if
say mathematician?
mathematician.
I thought you said
Yes.
at one point I heard you say engineer.
Yeah, I did.
Is that
But
wh-
then
is that
I
what it was?
discovered, oh, math can be cool. I discovered, oh, math can be cool. And then I decided, and then I came to the dilemma of, do I really like do I really like the numbers and messing around with the numbers themselves, or the application of said numbers? And I decided just the abstraction of mathematics is cooler than the application.
So math is your thing now.
I mean, I could still switch around. I mean, I could still go for I could still go for an applied mathematics degree. So it is what it is.
I mean, you can still have a list of which job you're gonna take. I have a ton of lists because I don't know which job
I
I'm actually taking.
I do.
Alright. You wanna
Mathematician is just my main one.
You wanna go down that list?
Just pure math, just pure maths.
Oh, so-
Working for is working for a uni, just crunching some numbers the whole day.
I mean, teachers.
Sounds like the type
teachers
of
get
stuff
less
that-
salaries.
No. We're not going for teacher. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
What about you guys?
How about bread? We haven't.
Fred,
Mhm.
what are you going for?
Okay.
Not you.
Wait,
Not
what?
you. Yes, you. Not you.
Did you say
Bread.
red or red?
I said-
Bread.
I said bread.
Oh.
What
Oh,
job?
okay.
What job would you like to take?
All right.
Well said.
First,
Red Dead.
are you here?
Breadless, more like dead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I was fixing my mic earlier. Some
Oh,
errors happened.
All right.
Anyways, we're talking in for a job.
Yeah, the job that
Yes.
the job that you would like to take.
A job that I'd like to take. Honestly, it's that's been a choice issue for college because that's what you have to go for, right?
Yeah.
But okay, what for now? For now.
For now, what
Well,
is your
if it's
dream
a
job?
job, uh, well, I wouldn't say dream job, but more of I do want to go for game creation
Game
or
development.
game development in general speaking. That's what I'm planning to go for.
So game development seems like
I can't say it's a big passion because it's more like a last minute feeling that I had to go for.
You have some things. You have some thinking to do there. I see.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like I can take my time either.
You can.
But you can actually.
You have
Nah,
I don't know up until second year college. I would say
Actually, it depends now.
second year college. Oh yeah, that.
You still have more years in
depends
college.
on
You can
what
really
you're going
take
for.
which one is
Depends
which.
on what you can get. You have at least.
You have at least like 4
Well, honestly, it's
years.
going by chance. I'm depending on which college would accept me. I'd be taking two different courses in general from those two.
But what do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
My mama's basement as I make a game on the PC while I eat with
Ideally, ideally. Yes.
Ideally.
This is the best ending.
Yeah, best outcome would come in my mind is basically living in my mom's basement while I eat food with the computer and as I try to create a game.
And then when you're in a meeting, your the people who attended your meeting will just hear your washing
Yeah,
machine.
you probably have that
It's
feature
either
on your bed.
watching, yeah, and I tried to put on a suit, but underneath I'm just wearing my own boxers or something like that.
Yeah,
Your mom just
well,
passes by doing the laundry.
it's the
Somehow I feel like
casual
you'd have that feature in the
online.
beanbag.
Well, basically that's the main goal here, baby. That's the idealism that I'm trying to hit.
That's the dream.
The dream,
That is a dream job.
simplicity.
You know what? I'm gonna take that job over anything. You know what? I'm gonna steal your dream job now.
What the? Taking an
Being
internet-based job and then living in your mama's basement while
I wish we had a basement.
Shui.
Yeah, so-
We'll leave Zenti next because screw it. No, just kidding. Because this is your personal topic.
Okay, for me, thinking of two things. One, not maybe. Yeah,
Hold on, I need to.
it's either biology is one.
What's the difference? Oh no, what's the difference between the two anyway?
Okay, biology, normal. It's the study of the body, basically. Normal anatomy. Shit. Zoology.
Yeah, but biology
It's
can also apply
that.
to animals.
Yeah, but some animals have different anatomy, like more organs, extra organs, more glands, and zoology. And then there's also marine biology, which is basically biology, but for marine animals. Life includes
The
marine
biggest
mammals, so
squid.
orchids, orcas, and some fishes, and corals. And
Oh,
if that doesn't
corals.
happen, I'm gonna clean.
Be a janitor. Be a, be a, be a be a public school janitor.
Dude, I will.
This is gonna be- we're gonna see in the local public school in 5 years.
You'd see me there, and I'll be like, "Hey kid, did you know what kind of fish can survive at the salinity and the pH level of toilet water? Well, here's the fish. It's not goldfish. It's the Amazonian.
Man, that's sad as hell. That's so sad. What the fuck?
Why does that fish have to live in a toilet?
Because they can.
They can
They
and they
can.
will. They can and they
Doesn't
will.
mean
I
they
see.
should.
They're invasive species, and invasive species are supposed to be put into rest. Controlled, rather.
So basically, the job that you want is a biologist. Was it?
Yeah,
All right,
Either a marine biologist or
marine
we're just
biologist or just a generic biologist. Oh,
anything
public school janitor.
anything could go, but anything that requires service.
yeah, as long as it pays.
I'm just I want to be a mathematician or engineer. Meanwhile, everybody here, I'm gonna be in my mom's basement or
Well, I'll be in my
something.
mom's basement or working a minimum wage.
Minimum wage desperation right there.
And
No. Then you're gonna complain to your manager. Hey,
what the what?
knowing full well you applied for that.
Probably working 9 to 5 would be better.
Right.
Wait, whose turn is it?
Yeah, but it's an office job. Your turn.
You.
Wait, my turn?
It's an office job. Office job.
Office jobs are actually fine, but for me, I guess I don't know. I'm trying. I have tons of jobs in mind that I want to take, but I guess if I'm gonna use the advantage for myself, I'd say a broadcaster. I would
Makes sense.
I would
Radio.
actually use the skill of me
You're saying
speaking.
you're saying you're not working that.
You could go for a radio.
I could go for a radio, yeah,
Radio
but I feel like they give me less money than they. I feel like they're also minimum wage at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not. I don't hear a lot of people talk about radio.
True.
Yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a lot that use radios nowadays, unless you're a trucker.
Yeah.
I feel like broadcast is fun enough. So everyone watches the news anyways.
Yeah. We're gonna see Wyatt in like
Who's
5 years from now. You're gonna see him in
Who's Wyatt?
Who's
News
who's
TV.
Wyatt?
Who's Wyatt?
Over.
Who is Wyatt? Good question.
Well, what's a Wyatt? Anyways,
What is a Wyatt?
What is Wyatt?
Why is a Wyatt?
Hey
Why
guys,
that?
here on Mythbusters today, we're gonna find out who is this Wyatt.
Today,
On this
Mythbusters gonna
episode, we're gonna find out
ass.
who Wyatt is and what is his intentions.
They always ask who's Wyatt, but they never ask where's Wyatt.
You'll never
We
know.
don't ask why Wyatt.
Why is Wyatt?
Damn.
But anyways, yeah, that is the dream
Who is
job I'm
Wyatt?
taking.
How is Wyatt?
Not really a dream job. It's more likely a job that I would find more fitting for me. Okay, wow, basement sitter. Don't shit on my
You're
job like
perfect.
that.
You're already looking up to be a great basement raccoon.
Okay.
He's MPD on this.
No, that's
He's gonna be a broadcaster.
I'm fine
he's
with being a
gonna look
broadcaster.
like voice script.
Hi guys, alright guys, so we're all already on channel News 5 and we're no, I don't want to copy Moist Critical's voice.
We're in channel news 5, and I gotta say, this is the most downright bad, disgusting shit I am ever gonna talk about.
Alright guys, welcome to channel 5 and we're looking at a mild storm here. This is worse than my grandma. No.
His vocabulary is insane.
Anyways, well, that's I guess that's the job I'm taking. I have several lists of it, but I guess I'm sticking with that one.
Mm.
One of them's an actor. I don't know how that's gonna help me.
Sure.
I will be
Acting
an
much
actor, but I have
though.
one condition. I will not be kissing
Don't do
anyone.
porn. Don't do porn.
Wyatt stars in the game.
Who's Wyatt? Seriously.
Who? You know, fuck it.
Wait,
Everyone knows
isn't
who I
that-
am, anyways. Everyone's been calling me that in my videos.
Who is Wyatt and why is he here? Dude.
Everyone calls me that anyways. Fuck it.
What is he doing here? Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Get him out.
But anyways, yeah. I guess that's all the topics I have for now. Actually,
It is what it is.
I have one last one. So, how do y'all feel that college is nearing?
Wait, did you ask this before?
Did I ask this before? I don't remember anymore.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't. Have
Ask a
Yeah.
kid.
Have I?
Oh no, he did. He did.
Which episode was that?
Last.
God knows what.
two to three.
Yeah, it might be 2 to 3.
Yeah,
Actually,
we were
yeah.
talking about college.
Yeah, actually. All right, maybe I have no other topics other than that. I guess we can end it at 1 hour and a half.
It's fine.
I guess that's
For
fine
a,
enough.
for a New Year podcast, for a New Year
Yeah,
podcast.
New year, new us, boys. I mean, what's changed?
New Year, new level of stooping low.
New year, new basement.
new
Am I
level of
right,
Chris.
Brad?
New basement. Just getting an upgrade.
I'm getting an upgrade. This basement.
That's your upgrade, Deb.
This basement's gonna look like Cartman's basement.
Hey guys.
But anyways, yeah, I guess we can wrap it up from here.
I guess we can.
Yeah,
1 and 3 sounds fine.
yeah. Well, 3 is kind of nice.
We ever solved the mystery?
But Mr. Why it is.
All right, we will get to that case on the next episode.
Or
All right, y'all know the title now.
Or-
Who's Wyatt?
Dude, I keep on slipping up.
Wyatt. Why? I need a Wyatt arc.
I only slipped up once. Why'd you slip up 4 times?
Because last time Marco called you boy.
Oh, well, he slipped up again. Look at that.
There's
Who's
a
Marco?
There's a Marco now.
What
is going
on? Wait, are we still?
Yes,
I'm still on. I'm still on.
What is going on?
I'm still streaming this. I haven't ended this yet.
An Italian guy told me that. Never mind.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just wrap it up. We're gonna have another podcast on who the hell is Wyatt, Mark, and Marco.
But tune in next podcast and we'll find out who the hell asked and who Marco the fuck and who the fuck Wyatt Marco is.
You know what? We're ending this podcast. If you like this podcast, please leave a like, subscribe to me if you're new, and you know what? Support my friends as well. They don't have any channels, but support them. They're part of my YouTube channel.
I do. Don't support it though.
You have a channel.
Bad.
You barely use it anyways.
Don't. Anyways,
Don't
You listen to
support.
them. I still have a plug-in. I do remember that we have a Spotify podcast right there. Go check it out. It's in the description. I'm gonna post this new one over there. And y'all want to add something else?
thank you for watching. Don't do drugs.
Don't do
Bye.
drugs, bad, good. Anyways, yeah, see ya. I'm ending.